2:31 a.m. Again I find myself in the dark forest, walking aimlessly. Only moving forward, but it didn't seem I was getting somewhere. In my arms I carry the cat which sleeps soundly. Come here, you'll be safe. I suddenly stop. It was probably easy to see the disbelief in my face at that moment. It's that voice again. I whispered to myself with no one to listen to me. Shortly after I found the cat, a mysterious voice appeared in my mind. It is a feminine voice, soft and gentle, as if it belonged to a princess from a fairy tale, but I can't trust it. Am I really going crazy? Or is it this forest doesn't make any sense? I don't know, but I don't like any of the two options. Then I feel the cat move in my arms. I look down at her confused, just to see how she opens her red eyes suddenly. I become quiet at that instant. For a moment, the two stayed motionless, staring into the eyes of the other. The red eyes of the cat are disturbing to me, but there's also something fascinating about them, something that attracts me. I lose myself in her eyes as if hypnotized. Until suddenly she jumps with the intention of scratching my face. My reflex is pushing her at the same time. I jump back, turning my head to dodge her claws. I manage to dodge her attack, but in the process I drop my flashlight. I panicked and act clumsily. The flashlight falls near me, lighting up a tree in the vicinity. As soon as it left my hands, I remember how dense this abnormal darkness is. I quickly pick it up, not even thinking before taking action. Then I light the place where the cat was. Only to discover she had arched her body angrily, as if she feared an attack. Those red eyes stare at me, shining with the light of the flashlight as they were jewels, reflecting a fearsome hatred and rejection towards me. My body freezes after seeing them. I can't even think. Then the cat lets out a thunderous mew, similar to one before but weaker, although not any less frightening. There is no doubt there's something wrong with that animal. It must be cursed. Everything is her fault. She must be some kind of evil spirit, a pet of the witches. I feel how panic seizes me. My heart beats quickly, begging me to do something. My mouth is dry, my forehead covered with cold sweat. What should I do? Escape or confront? Like, what was that Ferengi game? Escape or confront? Let's confront. No, I should not despair. I have to calm down and think carefully about what I should do. With that in mind, I take a deep breath and look again at her. Soon the expression in my eyes changes from fear to courage. I realize it is only a cat, without a doubt a strange one, but my life is not actually in danger. That isn't a tiger staring at me, but a simple cat. Apparently her only powers are those weird meows. If she could kill me, she would have done it. So I rule out that possibility. That's not a good idea, Axel. Her work must be transporting the next victim to this area of the forest. So unnatural and shady. After filling my lungs with air, I slowly walk towards the cat. Her meows get louder with every step, but I don't let them scare me. Seeing that I do not turn back, she shyly takes a step back. In my mind, I smile at that image. The prey is now the hunter. I look at her directly while advancing. Little by little, her meows become weaker, as if she was losing strength. Then I suddenly jump and take her in my hands. She hardly resists at all. Not so tough now, right? You look better like this. She is trembling in my hands. She looks so helpless that I almost feel like a villain. But I must not forget all that she has done so far. It's her fault that I'm in this place. She brought me here. Then if I kill her, would it be possible to go back? For a moment, that grim idea crossed my mind. I had never killed an animal. The truth is, I can't be proud of myself in doing such a thing. But if I do, maybe the legend could end here and now. Then what should I do? Keep her captured or kill her? We are not killing the cat. It's only logical. Yeah, it's only logical, of course, that the magic should die along with the cat. That should be my ticket back. If I kill her, everything would be over tonight and the legend would come to an end. Confident that it was for the best, I try to view it in my mind. No matter how hard I force myself to see it, in the end I am unable to take the life of another living being. Even if it is a cursed cat serving a witch, I don't feel good killing her. I think I'm too nice for my own good. So the only thing that remains is to keep her with me, hoping that sooner or later she allows me to escape. With nothing more to think about, I decide the best thing to do is continue my path. Alright, 2:41 a.m. It's been a few minutes since I captured the cat. Again I find myself walking with her in my arms, led by the strange voice. How long have I been walking in this forest? Apparently not enough to make me go mad, but it should be close. Don't be afraid. Come with me. I will help you. The voice sounds closer this time. It seems that I am going in the right direction. I don't fully trust in it, but it's the best I have. At least at first glance, it seems a friendly voice. I am completely focused on my way when suddenly I feel something bite me. Ugh, what the heck? I shout in pain, realizing that the cat bit my arm. Fortunately, it wasn't a dangerous bite, but it sure was painful. With my distraction, she takes a chance to jump from my arms, falling a few steps away from me. Quickly, I set my gaze upon her, furious, but soon something happens that makes me forget about my anger. Suddenly, the cat is covered with a bright light. So much that it repels the unnatural darkness surrounding the forest, stealing my breath. Another light, its figure gradually changes until it ceases to be a cat and becomes a human figure. No longer is there a cat in front of me, but a girl with incredible beauty. I must really be going crazy. She has white hair and red eyes. She seems about my age. In other circumstances, I would have asked her out without hesitation. Just thinking about it makes me laugh to myself. Even at the edge of madness, it seems some things about me will never change. She approaches slowly towards me. one step at a time, with no fear. The girl then stares into my eyes, with a slightly irritated face. Her lips are moving. She seems to be saying something, but I'm unable to hear a sound. Are you trying to tell me something? I babble, still confused, with a face of disbelief which surely made me look stupid. Said the girl with a very low voice. I do not understand what she is saying. What? I can't hear you well. I ask, still confused. Suddenly the girl pouts in a bad mood. What's wrong with you? Are you deaf? Finally I could hear her clearly, and just in time because it seems her patience was about to end. Okay, now I heard you, I said, annoyed. All my astonishment from just a few seconds ago disappeared when I see the arrogant attitude of the girl. At least now I don't think she will bite me. I hope. The girl then snorts with irritation. What an annoying guy I had to find. She said, at the time she places her hands on her lips, making a pensive face. Wait, you shouldn't speak ill of someone you have right before you. I was quick to respond. For a moment I felt annoyed at the thought that I have to teach manners to this spirit, or whatever she is. A pity, so much beauty wasted on someone so arrogant. The girl let out a snort of annoyance after hearing me. I'm sorry, it's a bad habit that I can't quit. She sounded without sounding very repentant, clearly a false apology. After talking, she diverts her gaze towards the surroundings as if she was bored. I see. I replied, annoyed. I just met her and I already feel like I don't like her. By the way, that doesn't matter. I must not forget who this girl is. She was the cat that started it all. Anyway, at least could you tell me why you attacked me and my friends? I asked shortly after, acting more serious. The greetings were over. It's time to get to the important stuff. And why did you bite me if I wasn't doing anything? Before I knew it, my lips were moving, asking another question. I cannot lie, I was angry. The girl then stares at my face. She blinks with curiosity before speaking. Does it hurt? The wound? She asked innocently. Yes. I was quick to respond with annoyance. I didn't need to say more. Of course it hurts me, silly cat. She looked at me in silence for a few seconds until suddenly she approached me without any shyness or fear. On second thought, how could a simple human such as me scare a cat that can turn into a person? Show me your wound, said the girl once she stood right next to me. Her presence makes me nervous. This girl seemed to not know what personal space is. As embarrassing as it sounds, I never had a girl this close. If only it wasn't in this forest. I don't know why. I shouldn't trust her, but strangely, something tells me that she has no bad intentions. The girl is surrounded by a calm aura, something pure unlike anything else in the forest. In the end, resigning myself with a sigh, I show her my arm with the bite. Immediately, the girl sets her sight on my wound. It will only take a moment, she said with complete confidence. Then she looks up into my eyes. Could you close your eyes? She's getting all blushy. She asks as she blushes slightly. I'm surprised to see that embarrassed face she has, even if just a little. Then I sigh, feeling something wasn't right, but there's nothing else I can do. Okay, I said, doing as she asked. I didn't know what to expect. For a moment I thought she would get naked or something like that. Of course you were thinking that. But what kind of magic can work when you have no clothes? I don't know. But my mind sure wanted to imagine that. Come on, Axel, keep your composure. Suddenly I feel something warm and wet touch my wound. Immediately I shudder. Wait, what are you doing? It's a stupid question, because I knew well what she was doing. She was licking my wound. Well, you know, she's a cat. You idiot! Who said you could watch? Was quick to respond, the cat. With her cheeks red in embarrassment, her lips still close to my wound, she looked adorably troubled. Don't you see that I'm just trying to heal you? She then added in a bad mood. Sorry, I said, blushing. I thought you would do something more extraordinary. Now I'm not sure. Is she a girl who can transform into a cat, or a cat that can become a girl? Those are the hard questions. Sorry to disappoint you, not being extraordinary enough, murmured the girl at the same time she gives me an annoyed look, red eyes shining with disgust. It's then that I realize the pain has disappeared. With curiosity, I look where the wound was, only to discover that now there's no trace of it. For a couple of seconds, I say, silently incredulous, "It seems that your treatment worked." I finally say gratefully, still looking at the spot. "But of course, I have experience healing myself," answered the girl, closing her eyes and inflating her chest to show her pride. Or talent, that's what we call it. I actually appreciate what she did, but still wonder if she really had the lick to cure me. I understand, but who are you? The girl makes a small snort with curiosity after hearing my question. Then she tilts her head and closes her eyes, making a thoughtful face. It seems I have not presented myself. She opens her eyes and gazes into mine. My name is Ashley. So that's her name. I was expecting something more extravagant. My name is Axel. By the way, have you been accused of witchcraft? Before I knew it, I asked the question. I guess it was rather rude for me, completely lacking in manners. But I must not forget for even a second that I am in this cursed forest. Ashley suddenly becomes silent. At plain sight, it was obvious she didn't take it well. She takes her time before responding. Yes, but that was a long time ago. She then closes her eyes and exhales, emptying her lungs. She seemed to be recalling something painful. Just seeing her made me feel guilty. I'm sorry, it was not my intention to make you remember it. I said, slightly remorseful. No doubt to be accused of witchcraft must have been a horrible experience. Ashley closes her eyes and nods a couple of times. It's okay. It's not like I can blame your curiosity seeing where we are. She then looks at me closely with curious eyes. By the way, how do you know about me? Perhaps you are a sorcerer who has lived during these past centuries. She asked, narrowing her eyes as if she was trying to see the inside of my mind. What kind of question is that? No, nothing like that, I answered at the moment. I'm just an ordinary person. I admitted boring, but she didn't need to know that. It's just that there are these stories about witches in this forest. But as you can see, the stories are not very convincing, or else I wouldn't be here. I explained, trying to remove any doubt that Ashley may have. Again, she closes her eyes and nods. I understand. She pauses and looks me in the eyes. because of the stupid myths that stupid humans come to this forest just like you. Then she said, looking at me with rejection, "Wait, what are you trying to say? Are we to blame?" I replied, feeling offended. Ashley suddenly looks at me disgusted. "Are you an idiot? Yes, if you hadn't come, my existence would be nice and peaceful. Instead of this chaos that it is every year," she said, ending with a sigh of frustration. "But you're the one who caused all of this." I was quick to respond. I don't even bother to hide my anger. I can't believe what she says. How arrogant can she be? Ashley opens her eyes wide, surprised. Then she looks at me with annoyance in her red eyes. "Do you not understand, stupid human? I definitely don't like this girl. I'm only trying to protect you." Her words take me by surprise. "Huh?" I exclaim incredulously. "You attacked me and my friends, only to protect us?" "Yes." She simply replied. At the same time, she nods, filled with pride and confidence. "Oh, that's it. I'm getting out of here." I can't believe how arrogant and self-centered this girl is. After everything she did me and my friends, I can't stand her any longer. "Wait!" I had only taken a few steps when I had heard her calling to me. She sounds real worried. "You don't understand the real danger you're in here." I stop my tracks as soon as I hear her. "Real danger?" I whispered, feeling some doubts. Suddenly I shiver. It doesn't look like she's lying. Yes, I try to chase them away using illusions. Other times I hit them with my powers. As a last resort, I scare them directly, as it was in your case. Ashley confessed, blushing a little as if she felt embarrassed of remembering. "And why do you do that?" I asked, confused. Something isn't right here. Ashley stares at me with her red eyes. "If they continue, their curiosity will meet an evil entity that will take their lives." "What you say doesn't sound very convincing." I immediately interrupted. "The only evil entity here is you." Ashley shakes her head in denial. "You are wrong. I am the good one." Then she looked into my eyes with a pure innocence in hers. I could only laugh at that comment. It had to be a joke. "After doing all that, you say you're good?" "Don't laugh, I'm only trying to protect you," replied Ashley furiously while waving her arms. She then crossed her arms and gives me an unpleasant look. Unpleased look? "Do you expect me to believe that?" I replied sarcastically. What she said made no sense, but somehow she seemed oddly convinced it was the truth. She was surely a bit wrong in the head. Sure, the magical transforming cat girl is the one that's got something wrong. But it's true. You have to believe me. This time she sounds really worried about me. I actually feel a little sorry for her. Ashley then stays silent, looking at me with puppy eyes, not kitty eyes. However, she soon recovers her proud attitude. "If you want, hold my hand. I won't harm you," she suddenly says. I look carefully at her. She has a very arrogant face, as if it was a great honor to be able to touch her. "You won't do anything strange?" I asked, distrustful. After seeing her again, I do not think she was lying. Ashley nods, full of confidence. "I promise you." I stare at her for a few seconds, making sure there isn't a trap. "Okay, but why do you want me to hold your hand?" I ask at the same time I extend my hand. Ashley opens her eyes surprised after hearing my question. Then she stares at me with annoyance. Are you stupid? Obviously to guide you out of the forest, she said just as she takes my hand in one quick move. I then find myself being dragged by this strange girl. But this is the opposite way from where the melodious voice comes, I said, looking back for a second. I felt really curious about who she was. You ignore that voice. It charms men to make them her victims. Think of it as a siren. Ashley explained in a bad mood, with her eyes always looking to the front. It seemed she didn't get well along with whoever that person or entity was. Wouldn't you be the one who collects souls of fools? I asked without thinking. I seriously need more experience when dealing with a girl. If only I were more popular. Ashley suddenly stops. She then turns at me, showing me a furious face. You idiot! I already said I'm the good one. For a moment I thought she was going to hit me on the head. But fortunately she stopped before doing so, or biting me again. Okay, I meekly responded as if I were a scolded child. But if you eat me, I'll make sure to give you the worst indigestion of your life. You idiot, I don't eat humans, replied Ashley, ending with an arrogant snort. 3:11 a.m. Alright, I think we can go for a little bit longer. Several minutes had passed since I started to walk hand in hand with Ashley. At the beginning I did not trust her at all, but the more time passed, the easier it was to believe her. I hadn't noticed before how comfortable her hand is, soft and pleasant to the touch. I blushed just thinking about it. Even if she is a witch, she's a girl too, right? Then I sigh. Come on, Axel. Composure, composure. With every step, the curse of the forest seems to weaken. The atmosphere was less oppressive every minute until finally, I was able to forget about that unpleasant feeling. Before I noticed, the darkness had returned to normal, feeling only empty. The rotten smell had also disappeared without a trace. Now, I could really say it was a common and ordinary forest, even boring. I could not be more grateful for that. Just a little more to get out, so let's keep moving. I set my sights on the back of Ashley, watching her walk in silence. She was completely focused on that simple thing. If you're the witch from the legend, why are you helping me? I suddenly asked, not thinking twice before it. I was really intrigued by that. Ashley stops, turns looking at me with an angry face. Idiot, do you really think that all witches are evil? She was right, the general images of witches is not good. But it's not as if the stereotypes were truthful. Then she closes her eyes, making an annoyed face. It's true that I had supernatural powers, but I never used them to do harm. Ashley lowers her sight and pauses. Suddenly she looks sad. My only sin was to be born in the time of the witch hunts. That's why I was condemned. That explains it well. I feel that I can trust she's good. There's still one more question. How did you end up becoming a cat? Ashley immediately blushes. She was so embarrassed it was almost adorable. Almost. Well, before my execution there was a cat watching in the distance. So I decided to transfer my soul to it. A little of that old exchange now, huh? She explained, avoiding looking into my eyes. Of course, we now share the body. We have like a deal. The cat will be happy as long as it has something to eat and a place to sleep. I try to provide her with all those needs. And in return, she lets me stay in her body. As she talks, she is blushing shyly. I see. I think it's a fair deal. I reply with a sincere smile. The truth is that I found it a little funny. It turns out that she's both a girl and a cat, and that answers some questions. Ashley closes her eyes and nods a couple of times. When she wants to, she can be very cute. Too bad that happens so rarely. Not saying more, Ashley continues walking to the exit. This time I stay in silence. All that remains for me is to escape from this place.